Yeah.
Wyatt just kicked me the other day. My oldest daughter, like full on, I was doing a ghost sound to scare her on purpose, and she full on kicked me. And I'm like, listen, we do not hit each other. But in my head, I'm like, kind of love this.
He had the right reaction. You want your daughter to kick when somebody does that.
That's right. She's got to survive. She got to survive Apex. There's a serial killer after her one day. She's got to make it.
Mark my words.
Yeah.
When you have the third one hit 11, I promise you're gonna have days where you just get in your car and drive around the block for like an hour.
Yeah.
You're out of the house. It's what I call like a timeout. Like I have to really just leave the house right now.
Put yourself in timeout. Nice.
I'm gonna go to the store. Anybody need anything? I'm just gonna go make a quick trip. All right, let's get to our convo with Charlize Theron. This convo is brought to you by Reese's. Our guest today is an actress-producer from South Africa. She's got a Golden Globe, 2 Critics' Choice Awards, and an Academy Award. She was named one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people. You know her from her roles in The Italian Job, Monster, Mad Max Fury Road, Atomic Blonde, The Old Guard, and Fast and Furious, as well as her new film coming out to Netflix April 24th, Apex. 92%ers, please give a warm welcome to Charlize Theron! Yeah, now that's the flex. That's the flex.
Oh, that's good. I was hoping you would give me a big one like that. I hear you give other guests big ones. I was like, I better get a really big fucking one.
We're listing them all.
Never hold back.
We're listing them all. You were showing off those muscles. This movie is unbelievable. It's such a flex in itself. You were doing a lot of the stunts, I heard.
I do a lot of the action. Yeah, I do all of the climbing in it is me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some of the kayaking is not me. I was not a great kayaker.
Not a kid.
They shot with these 2 Olympic gold medalists in New Zealand and did all which the kayak stuff is great though, right? I've never seen people do stuff like that with a kayak. These 2 women were just unbelievable. But yeah, I do everything else. Everything else that's in the movie, I do.
That's so impressive.
That's awesome.
Or stupid.
A lot of times those go hand in hand.
I was gonna ask you, do you think you have...
You need the stupid and the crazy to get to greatness.
There you go. You gotta be
That's
just
great.
a little crazy out here. Do you do it for the thrill, or do you do it for the shot, or do you what's the madness behind wanting to do all the action stuff?
Because I think good action movies work when you're telling the story through the action. It's not like the movie stops and you have an action scene and then the movie picks up again.
Yeah.
I like action movies where the action is part of the story. You don't understand the story unless you actually see the action. And that kind of physical storytelling, I really love. I was a dancer for the first part of my life. And I was a storyteller that way. And when I started making movies, it was all very verbal and great. But then I really got a chance to do a big movie called Mad Max Fury Road. And
We're familiar.
I fell in love.
Fantastic as well, yes.
I fell in love with using my body again. And so I kind of made a real effort to develop a couple of projects for myself to do that. So that's how I think of it. I think of it as, well, this part of the story we have to now tell, and it's physical. Like, how the fuck am I going to get up this hill without him shooting at me and hitting me? Like, how am I going to do that?
So fucking cool.
It is physical and it is badass. These are badass female roles in the fullest extent. And this one in particular, telling the story through the action, you feel like what the character is going through. It's pretty remarkable.
My heart's racing with you.
The last scene, I have a natural fear of heights.
Oh,
so
really?
Sometimes I get that, yes, especially on the side of cliffs for sure. Even just a camera looking out. I'm in my couch. I know that I shouldn't be sweating, but I just start sweating. It's a visceral movie.
You know that last climb, the final climb up when I get on the top and I'm exhausted and everything? That climb, that end, that last bit coming over, we shot that on an actual, a real face. And it was, I think more than 60 feet down. And
oh my gosh.
There was you couldn't put mats or anything down. It was a real hang. So they had to drop me on a very, very thick, secure safety rope.
Yeah.
But that's all they could put me on. They couldn't put me on wires or anything like that because we were just in the bush. And so I had
This
to,
is insane.
this was by far the scariest thing that I did. And everybody thinks it's the cliff dive, but I'm like, no, that was fun, even though it was only 6 feet of water. But every time I did that cliff dive, I was like, I'm getting more sand and sand into my wetsuit. I'm getting closer and closer to that bottom. But that last climb, I had to basically get myself down. So you see this drop. And I don't have like a great fear of heights, but I'm also not like incredibly brave, you know? I'm like, this is probably not very
You have an
smart.
appropriate fear.
Yeah,
When you're
exactly.
60 feet over a cliff.
But
I'm
you're just a
healthy
little,
about
you're
it.
crazy enough to do it. That's half the fun.
Yeah,
right there.
exactly. I think we've come this far. I have to finish this now. So I'm dropping myself. I'm trying not to look down. I'm like climbing and kind of scraping my body down just far enough so I'm out of the shot of the camera. And then I have to on action climb that last bit up, which is pretty steep and it's an overhang.
Oh
And
my gosh.
that was one of the physically the hard, and I was towards the end of the movie, I was so tired. And I just remember pulling myself up there the third time. And I just went, this is fucking insane. Like, this is absolutely insane. And in the movie, I kind of have a bit of a giggle, and that he kept it in, but that was literally me on the third take. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this is so crazy.
It fit very well. Yeah, absolutely.
Is a lot of this action and like that kind of that fearlessness that you have to find in yourself? Was that a part of like wanting to be a part of this role, or?
Yeah, I mean, I like this movie a lot because I thought that it wasn't contrived at all. It was very straightforward. You know, you have a girl, she goes into the wild, she meets a guy, he ends up being a serial killer, and the chase is on. And I like something about when I read the script, I love the simplicity of that engine that drove it. And then I liked the idea of within that it could be a two-hander where you can get into more of the psychological warfare, the psychological action. Like, I love movies like Die Hard, where it's simple. Like, you get it. It's like, there's a Christmas party and shit goes wrong, you know?
Yeah.
I love it.
And I love those movies. And I felt the same about this. I was like, wow, I just love that, you know, you got to stay alive. You got to try and get out of this. And hopefully you do. Good luck. Go.
It is a nail biter every step of the way, always on the edge of your seat. It combines like so many movies in my head, like of great parts of them, like Cliffhanger or like Free Solo, Deliverance. Like there's like, who isn't terrified of being in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of people playing like banjos and whatnot? But no banjos in this one.
No banjos in this one. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing how beautiful places can become the most scary places, right? Places where people go and hike and they have these beautiful, like Sunday mornings can end up, you know, being where somebody dies.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yes.
I will say this though, Taron Egerton absolutely rocks it with you. He's awesome as well. The first time he did his animal noise, did that fuck you up? Did it like catch you off guard? It caught me off guard every single time he did it.
Yeah.
He, that was truly frightening. And he came up with that kind of like, I think a week before we started shooting, because he had this, he kept saying things like, I think of him as someone that has like Peter Pan syndrome. And it was such a great way to look at the character, you know, this like little boy who's like trying to like be a man in nature, but he's just fucking sick.
You're doing it, man. You're doing it. You're really doing
exactly.
it.
And like, look at me, I can get water out of a tree. Like, okay, whatever. But I remember we did the first chase and he did one of those bird sounds and it scared the fuck out of me because he didn't tell me.
Yeah.
Is something really out here chasing me? What the fuck is that?
And there's a reaction shot actually when the first time he does it, when he starts the song and he says, you have this song to get away from me. And then he does the bird sound. And that reaction is, I was like, fuck me. Like,
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
I gotta get the fuck out.
Why are you that good at this?
He's so amazing in the movie. I think he brings like a whole new twist to this, you know, I think serial killer movies I love them. I'm obsessed with serial killer movies. I think you also I think because I'm so obsessed with real serial killers, there's so much variety to pick from, right? It's not always the tropey thing where, you know, you're telling the story and this is why, and you're trying to justify or say why he's like likes to cut women's heads off. And we didn't want to do that story. We really wanted to just tell a story that's in the moment. It's happening. And we're not getting into, you know, too much of a history about why he's doing all these horrible things, which I like as well, because then he stays very scary. You don't understand him.
I agree. It's scarier when you don't know why he's doing that. Like I think at one point, Sasha, like your character even tries to like say the I don't want to give away too much in the movie, but yeah, you try to like get that out of him or like play on that, and he shuts it down right away. Like, no, I'm just a psychopath. Like, there's nothing deeper here. It's not as deep as you're trying to make it out. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, but can I hug you? Yeah. I love that moment too, because she's obviously all she has left is how she can psychologically maybe talk herself out of this situation. And I love that he doesn't go down that route. Yeah. And that I have to kind of come up with something else very quick on the fly. I'm so glad you guys love the movie. I really, I haven't, this is my favorite movie I've ever made.
What? You made some bangers. I was like, this is cool to hear.
I know. So in 30 years, I've made a lot of movies, and I've loved all of them for different reasons. But there's something about this movie that the way we shot it, where we shot it, just the time in my life, when I needed to go and find something where I could just immerse myself into a world. And this movie was everything that I wanted. And then the end result was everything that I hoped for before we went to go do it. And so it's really nice to hear how much you guys are responding to it too, because I loved making this movie so much.
That's awesome. Fuck it.
Very cool. Yeah. I think it's going to be highly regarded. It comes out on Netflix coming up here. It's, you did a great job. You should be proud of it.
Thank you. That's so nice, you guys.
You were also a producer on Mindhunter, so you really are just all about the serial killers.
Yeah, are we watching Dateline every night, or where are we getting our fix for this knowledge?
I mean, what's wrong with that? I have fallen asleep to Dateline before. Yeah, Mindhunter was a story that I heard about when I did Monster, when I played Eileen Wuornos, who was considered a serial killer.
Yeah.
And I kept hearing about this guy, John Douglas. He was the first behavioral science guy, and he is really the one that came up with profiling, which was a really big thing that he brought to the FBI, and they really fought it for years because they were like, I don't want to hear about this monster's mom. Like, don't tell me. But he had a way of kind of looking at the history of these people, and he could he profiled a lot of prolific serial killers actually, through just knowing more about them. And so I read one of his books. He has many books, and he's a very, very interesting guy. And he just always stayed with me as such a fascinating guy, because he's like always in like a nice suit. You know, he wasn't like, he was like the last guy that you would imagine would go to Rikers and want to sit down with serial killers and know more about them. So he was a great character. But yeah, we did 2 seasons with David Fincher, and it was one of those things that I was very proud of. I absolutely love what we did with it. And it's a serial killer story that really very rarely shows you the serial killer doing the act. It really was more about the academia behind, and how real serial killers were part of that academia being found, sitting down with them. That's how they built their knowledge for profiling, which I just thought was fascinating.
That is fascinating.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
You guys don't like serial killers? Well, I grew
up in Ohio.
I will sit down and
a lot
watch.
of them come from Ohio, so I like trying not
Jeffrey
Jeffrey
Dahmer.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's too close to home.
That's right. So you guys see it in real life. Got it.
It's just an everyday thing, so we tried to stay out of it.
We narrowly escaped it. Narrowly
escaped trying to kill each other. Nice. Well, for the movie, everybody, Netflix, April 24th, Apex. You gotta check it out. Charlize, before we get you out of here, though, we got some dumb questions to ask you. We have a dumb little game that we made up, and your movie resume is absolutely incredible. But we want to know how well you know those movies based off of some of the comments and reviews. We think this is a fun little game. And
comments and reviews.
Yeah. So we're gonna read a comment, and you are going to try and tell us which movie you think that comment is referencing.
That is really hard.
Hopefully we didn't make it that hard for you. Let's see.
First one is from Miriam. It is, I feel like I just got drop kicked in the cervix for 120 minutes straight. Which of your movies would elicit that comment from Miriam?
It's either
5 stars, by the way. 5 stars.
Atomic Blonde or Tully.
You got it, Atomic Blonde. She knows
it.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is from Patrick Williams, who also gave the movie 5 stars. A few movies in history have ever whipped quite this hard.
Oh my God.
It could be a number of them.
Whipped so hard? That doesn't. There was no whips. Wait a second.
I can't read.
Which movie do you think
Did I
you
say
were
that
whipped
right?
in? No, you're right. That's the you read it correctly, Travis.
That was a tough
Whipped
word.
hard. Is it Mad Max?
Yes.
It is Mad Max, indeed.
2 for 2.
There it is.
2 for 2.
I think whipped was the key word in that one.
There was a lot of leather in that movie, so that's why I wanted.
Well, I think they were like whipped around. All right, here we go. From Liam F. 3.5-star review. They were in Italy for 24 minutes.
Oh, the Italian Job.
Yes,
There you
the
go.
Italian
That
job.
was an
Yes.
easy one. That's a gimme. All right, one more.
From Adam Bolt, all sex scenes from now on should have Al Pacino in the background cheering for participants.
Oh my God, that's devil's advocate.
Yeah.
That's an all-time comment right there.
Oh
Yes.
my God, it sounds so wrong. But now don't you want to kind of see it? Yeah, this is the only way I have sex these days. Al Pacino's
Al, could you come in here, please?
and he's lovely. He submits. He comes. He does it.
He's a good
Gives
man.
great
I
feedback.
heard he's a good man.
All righty. We got to ask. You got to do the opening ceremony at the Winter Olympics this year. How was that experience?
Oh my God, it was amazing. I was asked and I was kind of like, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb. And it's such a special moment for so many athletes who work so hard. But I really kind of connected to the idea of just kind of spreading a little bit of hope, you know, and I think I felt like it was a good stage to maybe do a little bit of that. I didn't want to go and like feed anybody medicine. Hopefully I didn't, but I'm fortunate enough to come from a beautiful country with this great man who plays a big part in the freedom of South Africa, Nelson Mandela. And you just can't go wrong with a Nelson Mandela quote.
Nice.
So it was very, very, very easy on my part. I just threw a dart and like.
For years, podcasts have relied on traditional advertising, hosts reading sponsor messages or inserting commercial breaks. But Amazon has recently begun reshaping that model in a major way. In 2024, the company dramatically restructured its podcast division, Wondery, replacing much of its original framework with a new unit called Creator Services. This shift marked a bold experiment. Instead of simply selling ads within podcasts, Amazon would build entire ecosystems around creators and monetize those. The idea isn't entirely new. Companies like SiriusXM have already explored expanding podcast brands into live events, merchandise, and social media promotions. Many creators have also diversified their businesses. For example, Alex Cooper has expanded her Call Her Daddy brand into product ventures and commercial directing, while others have launched their own consumer products. Still, Amazon's approach stands out for its scale and integration. A key example of this strategy is New Heights, hosted by Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce. After signing a reported $100 million deal with Wondery, the Kelce brothers became central to Amazon's new vision. Their show now extends far beyond audio. With the launch of the Kelce Clubhouse, fans can browse merchandise, watch related content, and even shop curated items tied to the host's personal brand, all in one place. Amazon's goal is to blend entertainment and commerce seamlessly. Rather than interrupting content with ads, products are woven into the experience itself. Fans might watch a show, attend a live event, and purchase recommended items, all within the same ecosystem. This strategy reflects a broader belief. Audiences are willing to engage deeply with content tied to personalities they admire. Live events further highlight this shift. Amazon has hosted branded gatherings around major moments like the Super Bowl, partnering with companies such as Xfinity and Raising Cane's. These events are less about traditional advertising and more about immersive fan experiences that naturally incorporate sponsorships. Ultimately, Amazon's Creator Services signals a changing definition of what a podcast even is. With video content, live shows, merchandise, and digital storefronts all connected, the line between media entertainment, and commerce continues to blur. In this evolving landscape, creators are no longer just hosts. They're entire brands, and platforms like Amazon are building the infrastructure to support that transformation.